All right, so if I'm getting ready to do my credits, what I like to do is put it on a Google Doc ahead of time, copy it. So Control C. And so that way I don't have to be typing in a box. This is especially helpful with rolling credits because mine are going to be longer than the frame. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do now is return to my Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to kind of pause for a second. One thing that I find annoying is in Premiere Pro 2025 is that this is the default workspace, which doesn't quite work for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of move this over so that I have more room for my preview panel. So yeah, that's my personal preference. Um, so I have all these tools over here on the left. You know, that's the cursor that I'm normally using. But I'm going to type on the type tool and look what happens down here in the timeline. I have my final video clip. And look what happens when I click in here. Okay, immediately a graphic is produced. Okay. If I had done that over here, there would have been a new layer put in here, but now I have it here. And in here, I'm going to Control V. So all of my names that I had in my Google Doc are going to be there. And I could, you know, race around and move this by heading to my cursor and moving it around. But that is going to be not precise. So I prefer to be here. So I kind of have this here. And then I'm going to scroll down here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to center it. So that just is alignment. Don't worry that it just went off out of the frame. And then I'm going to scroll down, and this shows me where my where it's going to be within the frame. So I go hover over this. It says align center horizontally. So I'm going to put it there. And that's all I need to do for now. Wait, actually, I can just do align center vertically. So I have all of that. So that is going to be in my frame, but some of it's out of frame because my list of names is too long for one frame. I don't have to worry about that because I'm going to do rolling credits. So let me head over here to this properties. If you have used Graphic Essentials before, that no longer exists in 2025. Look up here. This says production. This is where all my text is up here, and it's currently highlighted. This is called a layer. So I'm going to deselect it by, see this black box underneath the layer? I'm going to click on that, and all of my kind of font stuff goes away. And instead, I have, you know, kind of fewer options. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on roll. Okay. And this says it starts off screen, ends off screen. I like that. And that's what I'm going to use. So I've turned this into a rolling screen, rolling credit. So let's see how that looks. I'm going to move mine over. And this is the way this looks.
Do it.
So that looks pretty cool. I
You
will
know,
tell
it's kind of
you
rude to.
one thing is that those went by pretty fast. If I want them to go slower, I can move this out. Okay. So it will go a little bit slower that way. This is how this looks now because I want it to be slow enough that it's actually, I could read it. Okay. So looks
You
great.
know,
Looks
it's kind of rude.
professional. One thing is that it's very abrupt here. So I'm going to try and put a transition between the clip and the credits. And the way I do that is I go up to Window and I click on Effects, and they show up down here. And so here are all my choices. And I go down to Video Transitions, and here's Dissolve. So I look at the different dissolves there are. And I'm going to do an additive dissolve. It's kind of the simple one. Actually, I've never done film dissolve, so I'm going to try that. I click on it and I drag it over between. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, that looks cool. Okay, so that looks better. One little thing that I might want to do is make that dissolve longer. So what I can do is go here and then I get another window shade. I can make it makes the whole thing longer, but then I can move it down. So let's see how that looks.
Know how I do it.
Okay. And so that's how you do some rolling credits, and it uses some new features that in 2025.